Harakiri, Harakiri, if you need a quick buck, just threaten to kill yourself in a palace. But don't fucking do it, they'll get onto your shit. Yeah, they'll figure it out. Hello there, CriterioNate here. Number 302, Masaki Kobayashi's Harakiri, or Seppuku. I am so happy. We're back. We're back, and we're back in good ones, too. This one saved me from thinking this might be a crappy season with an angel at my table. Anyway, Harakiri, 1962, 133 minutes, black and white, Japanese. Yes. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about this. You know what? We gotta do this. We gotta do this. Stand by. There, that's much better. If we're gonna do this review, we gotta do it right. So here we are, in the position, assume the position. Anyway, so let's talk about. Oh, but first of all, before we get into the movie, I should explain Harakiri. Basically, when samurai lost their masters or were disgraced, there was a ritual called Harakiri where rather than live in disgrace and all that, they would, just basically kill themselves or sacrifice themselves so that they, well, at least, so that they wouldn't live in disgrace and all that. And so basically what they would do is they would take, their sword and cut themselves there's like a cross cut or something like that, It looks something like this. Basically, that's it. So, now that I've explained to you what it looks like, or a poor man's version of it, let's talk about the movie. I'm going to be referring to the booklet, to the characters in here quite a bit, because I can't remember it's hard to remember the names, for me to remember the names in Japanese movies, because they're very, they have very unique names. The Japanese have very unique names, and yeah, so anyway. So, our main character is Hanshiro, played by Tatsuya Nakadi. And he is a samurai who comes to this palace and wishes to commit seppuku, Harakiri. And he, the lead, the senior counselor, played by, whose name is Keiju Saito, played by Rentaro Mikuni, tells him that, you probably shouldn't, because we had somebody else come in, and he tells him this story about this younger boy named, what's his name? Motome, who had come in and basically said the exact same thing that Hanshiro told him when he said he wanted to make the announcement of wanting to commit Harakiri. And so they put him through the motions, and at first he wanted him to go through, but the three senior samurai told Saito, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go and follow through so he'll kill himself. However, they find out that they examine his stuff and they find out that his sword is actually made of bamboo, meaning that he had sold his sword or pawned his sword at some point during his travels and had been traveling with a false sword. And so, as a way of punishment, they let him kill himself with his bamboo sword. The idea was that there were a lot of false sacrifices or false suicides where I guess the suicides were kind of literally and spiritually staying the palaces. So they had to be true sacrifices. A lot of samurai would pretend to commit or threaten to commit suicide and ask for money instead, and the palaces would give them money and they'd be on their way and all that stuff. So anyway, they basically, so this was Motome's wish. He wanted money basically. So they find this, and they realize this when they see that he doesn't have a sword because they pawned it. So as a way of revenge on their part, they make Motome kill himself with his bamboo sword. And you know, the look of shock and the way Kobayashi like directs like the close-ups of him when he realizes he has to go through with it, knowing full well he doesn't have a real sword. He thought, oh, just get some money and get out of here. Nope, he's got to go through with it with the sword. So, you know, bamboo doesn't cut very well, so it, you know, it takes him an agonizingly long time to do so. And I should have mentioned, there's a second, what they call a second samurai who, after the cut has been made and he's bled enough, to put the samurai out of his misery, he would just behead him. And he's asking him, please gently, and he's like, no, I gotta do it further. And he's like trying to slice away with this bamboo thing. He's just like, you know. And so, it's a really neat story. So anyway, so Saito tells Hanshiro this story. And he says, I'm still gonna do it. You know, I still want to do this thing. So anyway, so they set up the ritual, and Hanshiro comes out, and you know, and Saito asks him, okay, who do you want to behead you? Who do you want to cut off your head? And almost without thinking, he successively, and I don't remember the order, he names, and I don't remember their names either, he names the 3 samurai who wanted Motomi to go through with his suicide. And he's like shocked that, you know, first of all, I think that he knows, you know, that he's like, and like he knows this. Saito like is like thinking about this in the back of his head, like, you know, how do you know them, that they were in the story? He didn't mention their names or anything like that. I guess, you know, it was probably just, he figured that Hanshiro knew of them from their, you know, their stories, you know, their telling, you know, their, what's the word I'm looking for? Their rapport, if you will, for lack of a better term. So anyway, a messenger finds out about them, and he reports back, you know, finding out that all 3 of them happen to be sick with an illness. And so Hanshiro is just like, you know, this is stupid, you know, you guys are pathetic, and the samurai way of life is dumb and all that. So he says, so he begins to tell him this, and he begins to tell him this story. You know, why should you kill yourself and all that, you know, and or Saito asks that, and Hanshiro says, well, let me tell you a little story, guys. And so basically the whole rest of almost the rest of the movie is this, you know, the backstory, a good portion of this. So, and we're gonna just tell the whole, you know, this is the whole, you know, plot spoiler, blah blah blah. So Hanshiro's master was planning on killing himself after they lost this big battle or something, and Hanshiro was planning on killing himself, you know, killing himself with his master, and there's a term for it I can't remember. However, the master decided, you know, prevented this by asking Hanshiro's friend killed himself with Hanshiro's master, and in return, Hanshiro had to look after his teenage son, who's Motomo. So he knew Motome, sorry. And so Motome ends up falling in love with Hanshiro's daughter, Miho. And the 2 of them fall in love. They have a son whose name is Kingo, I think. And so the 3 of them, or the 4 of them, live together, and, you know, he takes care of them, all that. And then one day, Miho ends up falling sick. She gets this cold, start coughing up blood, and Motome does everything he can to try and help her. He tries to raise money by selling all his possessions, and it is through there that he finds out that, you know, we see him go to the pawn shop, and there's where we find out that he sold his sword to try and raise money for, I guess, doctor bills and all that. Hanshiro is lost. he's very, he's trying to do odd jobs and all that to raise money, and he's at his wit's end. And Motome says, there's one more way that I can maybe make some money. And so the next thing we see is the three soldiers come in, the three samurai, bring Motome's mutilated body after he kills himself and shows it to them, and like, this is what you did. Look, his sword is bamboo. He's a disgrace, basically, doing that. And so, I guess, and then now that I think about it, that's where he finds out about the three samurai. So he tells him this story, and Saito is just kind of like, he's kind of just like, well, okay, look, you kill yourself, but, I forget they make a deal or some sort. But anyway, the big clincher, spoiler alert, this whole thing is spoiler alert. I know I'm forgetting something. Hanshiro agrees to kill himself and all that, and he says, okay. And just as he's about to do it, he says, wait, I got one more thing. I got one more thing to show you. He's like the Columbo of samurai. Just one more thing, And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out the top. I forget what they call it, the top hairs of the samurai. Hanshiro had hunted down the three samurai and cut off, rather than kill them, cut off their hair, their top hairs, and displayed it to Saito. And Saito now realizes that they were faking illness. They were so disgraced that they didn't want to come in and do anything. They just decided to be cowards and sit at home and wait for their hair to grow back. And at this point, Saito's just like, fuck this, kill him. And so everybody's just like, reaches out on him, and Saito knows, now Saito knows that he's like basically disgraced. Hanshiro's like, he's like, I told you guys were a waste of fucking time, So Hanshiro is battling him, and I think he murders 4 of them, wounds 8 of them or something like that, and he slices, dices, but, obviously there's way too many. It's one against like 15, 20, 25 of these dudes. And so he's fighting them, and then in the end, like, he's like struggling, and there's been this statue that's supposed to represent the samurai. He picks up the statue and like throws it to the ground, and the samurai kill him, and he finally kills himself, and permits Harakiri after disgracing the samurai name, and he kills himself and all that good stuff. And so however, the final scene shows Saito and his messengers talking. Saito commands his second-hand men to clean up the mess by saying that Hanshiro killed himself because he had a mental illness, and basically it was all just covered all up with illness, that the 3 samurais couldn't perform because of illness, and it went into this book, and it was supposed to just the lie. It was basically how, like, and it's kind of it was supposed to be an allegory for like the government, how the government kind of cleans up the truth, reminded me kind of like the X-Files, sort of like that, and I like that a lot. So, and that's what I really, when that conspiracy kind of aspect of it comes in, like the last 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, just like, whoa, However, the last thing you do see a janitor who's sweeping up like the thing. He finds one of the hairs and puts it away, and it's like, ooh, a sequel, Anyway, so that's the movie. That's Harakiri. This is a really, really fantastic movie. This is our second Kobayashi movie. Our first was The Sword of Doom, and I really want to watch that one again. I loved that one. I thought it was really good. It was really confusing though, but I really loved the last, the big battle scenes. So I really want to watch this one again, and I'm picking this one up. Harakiri is fantastic. Rating A, perfect. just I can't think of anything else to give this but an A. So Harakiri is a keeper. Okay, I'm done with I'm over this. I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. Oh, I so couldn't do that anymore. Seriously. God, that hurts. Anyway, supplements. Let's talk supplements. We can talk supplements from the chair. Probably do the rest of this out. Supplements. Oh yeah, first disc. It's a 2-disc set. Blu-ray was 1 disc, but I got the it's on Blu-ray, so I'll be getting the Blu-ray. But I got the dual disc from the library. Everybody's favorite white guy who thinks he knows everything about Japanese films, Donald Ritchie, talks about it. And and the thing is, they list the in the menu, they list the introduction, Donald Ritchie introduction, before the film, as if you're supposed to watch it. But the problem is, with these introductions, they're like as if you expected to have seen the movie. That's the problem. And there's a note underneath, and I thought, okay, well, they listed it first. Maybe I'll watch it and see what this guy has to say. If I see some stills or some clips, it won't harm it. However, underneath it says, please, there's a note that says, on the DVD says, please note, the following film contains remarks about the ending of the film. I'm like, well, fuck that. Fuck that shit. Come on. Just fuck the fucking movie, So I did that first. I watched the movie and nothing was spoiled. And there's insight. And I watched the white dude talk for, just suck everybody's dick. He sucks just as much. He might suck a little more dick than Carrie Fox. But anyway, so that's disc 1. And then there's a trailer. And then disc 2, and it's funny that I would think that a lot of this stuff, the supplements, there aren't a lot of supplements on the second disc. So it's funny, I guess just because the movie's really long, they couldn't fit it all on 1 disc, or they decided to, whatever. There's basically 3 videos. There's an excerpt of an interview with Kobayashi, conducted by Masahiro Shinoda, who did Double Suicide, which we're probably going to rewatch sometime later this year, if not sooner. We'll see. So yeah, there's that, and I think there's also an excerpt from that same interview that they did on The Sword of Doom. I think I remember the setting. There's an interview with Tatsuya Nakari, who played Hanshiro, and he talks about working with Kobayashi. And there's this, and also with the screenwriter Shinobu Hashimoto, and he talks about writing the script, and he talks about how he wanted to do a movie with Harakiri, but it wasn't until he saw the poster to this Polish film, his name I can't remember, that the poster like featured kind of this cross, sort of like the Harakiri cross, and it was kind of that inspiration. So it's funny, just it's just interesting to see how these how movies are inspired. How other movies inspire movies, or movies inspire other movies, and all that stuff. And there's a poster gallery and all that. So that's basically it. So anyway, Harakiri, fantastic movie. Gonna pick it up. Gonna do it. All the good stuff. Hey. So that's it for today. Tomorrow. Well, let's talk tomorrow. Okay, let's talk. Because I'm trying to figure out my schedule here. So tomorrow we are definitely doing number 303, Nick Rogue's Bag Timing. But Thursday, I said we'd be doing one Thursday. However, I've got a really busy schedule on Thursday, and I really want to get to The Man Who Fell to Earth because it's actually due tomorrow on Wednesday. And so I need to do it as soon as possible so I don't get any late fees. And yeah, so I'm going to do it either that. If I don't do it Thursday, we'll do it Friday night. We will get some going. And on that note, I tried to ask my friend, I told you last season, that I wanted to get my friend Yuna, who's one of the biggest David Bowie fans I know, up here to do the review with me. And she is unable to, fit with my schedule. So, she gave me my blessings and, do it. It was nice enough that you thought of me. So we're going to go and do The Man Who Fell to Earth without her. And hopefully we'll get her in with another movie. Hopefully Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence will get her, or definitely Josh. We'll get my brother Josh back in because he's a huge fan of Ryuichi Sakamoto. And maybe we'll get both of them, her, she can comment on David Bowie and he can comment on Sakamoto. So that's the plan. But definitely bad timing tomorrow. There's a chance we may even do The Man Who Fell to Earth tomorrow night as well. We may do 2, so that we'll just take Thursday off. And then we'll probably do, but definitely Budo Saved from Drowning will be Sunday. This will be a Sunday movie. And I've went ahead and put a hold on the next 4. let's see, Le Samurai. I forget who directed it. Mike Lee's Naked. Godard's Masculine Feminine. And a movie called Ugetsu. I can't remember the director. And we're only gonna do 4. We're gonna make sure to only do 4 next. Well, 4. Well, 5. We'll have 5, I guess, technically, because the one after that is a set. The Rebel Samurai Rebellion. It was like a 4-movie set. So that'd be perfect for. We'll just do that in a whole week. We'll do Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and maybe not Wednesday. We'll just take Thursday. We'll just do 4 that week. And that'll be it, and then we'll just move on from there. So, anyway, that's the plan. So tomorrow definitely bad timing, and then we'll figure out the Man Who Fell to Earth. What I need to do is I'm actually gonna take the time and try to figure out how many what the supplements are, the length. I don't know how long the Man Who Fell to Earth is. I think it's over 2 hours, but I need to know how long the supplements are and all that. So yeah, if it's not too long, I might do it tomorrow night after I get off work. I get off work late though, so you never know. And I might find time again. I'm gonna try to find the time to do it Thursday, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So more than likely, it's gonna happen Friday night. So we may have a movie Friday, a rare Friday night movie. And that's it. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Morals. Gosh, morals. Don't try to get money out of people by pretending to kill yourself, by threatening to kill yourself. It's extortion and it's dumb. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for, where the hell is it? Bad timing. And maybe the Man Who Fell to Earth. Maybe. Anyway, that's it for me. Until then, until tomorrow, keep on watching and all that good stuff.